Hi, my name is Andrew, and I thank you for taking the time to listen to this. I'll be talking about integrating spiritual emergencies. So, uh, I support individuals to integrate the highs and lows of spiritual awakening, mystical experiences, and altered states of consciousness, especially when the process becomes scary and overwhelming, when it becomes a crisis, a spiritual emergency. Now, I believe that these can be healing experiences, positive transformations. Yeah. I am a transpersonal therapist, which basically means that I hold Western models of psychology alongside spiritual experiences. Yeah, I don't put one over the other, but I actually try to combine the two, and um, I think that that's where the strength is. Yeah, really, and this doesn't mean that I impose my own spiritual beliefs. Okay, just to name that. Now, what I'm talking about here is when some people see things, hear things, smell things that aren't there. Yeah, synchronicities, past life regressions, out of body experiences, mystical states of oneness. You can see a huge list here. But again, when these experiences become scary and overwhelming for the individual, right? When it becomes too much, too fast, too different from previous life experiences. Because some individuals can have these experiences and they can be totally fine. Yeah, they won't lose their center of balance. I work with the individuals when it becomes too much for them. Okay. Now, these are called spiritual emergencies, and traditional Western psychiatry, right, coming from Canada, America, parts of Europe, um, uh, labels these experiences as psychosis, psychotic-like experiences, schizophrenia, manic episodes. But transpersonal psychology looks at these experiences differently because transpersonal psychology values the spiritual aspects of human experience. Now, this term spiritual emergency was initially coined by Christina and Stan Groff, and what I want to highlight here is that there is a significant transpersonal emphasis. So, what that means is that even if individuals fear what is happening for them, right? They fear that they might be going crazy. There's still some sort of sensing, a knowing within themselves that this is a spiritual experience that they're having. Okay. So, spiritual emergencies are progressive experiences. And I've had my own fair share of spiritual emergency, and it completely rocked my world, my sense of self, my um, understanding of my place in the world, reality, relationships, my work. Yeah. For me, it was a spiritual awakening from yoga and meditation practice that turned into a transformation crisis. Um, but still, through the work of integration, I find myself, and I know that this is available for others as well, to live a life more from those spiritual values, which come from those spiritual experiences. Yeah. To finding more connection, more fulfillment in this life. And also to become more grounded and stable humans in this world, which I think is really necessary. Yeah. Some even go so far as labeling these experiences as, quote, the birth of a healer. Yeah. Others, like Abraham Maslow, call them movements towards self actualization. And you might wonder, why this is. And I don't have an answer for you. Yeah. The jury's still out on this one. But perhaps the distinction between psychosis and spiritual emergency is primarily cultural, as it lies in the way that we talk about things and contextualize and create meaning out of experiences. For example, in polyphasic cultures, poly meaning many, yeah, polyphasic cultures appreciate many altered states of consciousness, and they allow for the community and individuals' worldviews to be guided by altered states. Whereas monophasic cultures such as Canada, US, America, only appreciate one state of consciousness, that being the normal waking state. Yeah, and I'm not talking about here about indigenous cultures, right? Because indigenous cultures in Canada, where I am, they're more polyphasic. Yeah, so I'm talking about more sort of more mainstream society. Now, I'm also an academic doing research on the integration of spiritual emergencies within the field of transpersonal psychology. And although there's been a lot of theoretical writings, there hasn't been very much research. Yet these experiences might be on the rise. As you can see here, Gallup polls show that in the 1960s, there was only 20% of people that were saying that they were having mystical experiences, up to 41% in 2002. And this might be due to cross fertilization of spiritual practices, a lot of stuff coming in from the East, um, greater awareness. Again, this is purely theoretical. Yeah, we really don't know why this might be happening. Okay. Now, as I said, I'm also a researcher, and my research is only one of three studies that have been done on spiritual emergencies, and I'm in the process of publishing my research. So what you're getting here is a little preview. But I found that there's three stages to spiritual emergency. So one is self-regulation. Yeah, the first stage, which is the intense moment of crisis where individuals are trying to self-regulate and come back to center. Then there's the period of integration, which is a lengthy process of healing and transformation. Finally, landing in stage three, which I'm calling here emergence, which basically means becoming a balanced, grounded human being that can hold both consensus reality and their non ordinary experiences confidently and comfortably. In my research, I have also found that there's these themes to integration. Yeah, not only is it a lengthy process and is there great healing and transformation, but also that individuals need somebody who doesn't look at them as being crazy to support them, yeah, but who views their experience as having a positive potential and respects their inherent capacity towards wholeness and healing. They're able to discern what the right support is, yeah, so to offer individuals consent on their healing journey, right, instead of diagnosing or forcing medication. Yeah. I have also found nature, grounding practices, expression via the body, redefining boundaries, and also to be supportive. Now, individuals really require the right support, right? And I have found that there's a large network of support that is required: community therapists, spiritual teachers, body workers, energy practitioners, yoga teachers, meditation teachers, psychedelic practitioners, etc., from which individuals can pick and choose. And my little part in this is just as a transpersonal therapist. Yeah. I want to stress that I don't pathologize these experiences, but rather choose to offer support to individuals as they grapple with making. Yeah. As their paradigm shifts, I help them to ground, to normalize, to contextualize, to heal. And healing happens in their relationship to themselves, to their emotions, to their family of origin. Also, ancestral healing comes in as well. So, healing on multiple levels, multiple dimensions to really ground their insight and embody a new ways of living and being that are in alignment with their new lived experience, right? To support them to become balanced, grounded, stable individuals where they don't get dysregulated by these experiences. So if you come across these individuals and you don't know how to support them, here I am. Yeah, I just wanted to let you know that there is a counselor who specializes and supports these experiences, who believes that they really are healing. Yeah. I remember personally that I felt really alone during my own process, and I was scared that if I shared what I was experiencing, that I would be called crazy. When I did share with my yoga teacher, he didn't know what was happening to me, so he wasn't very supportive. And then when I shared with my shamanically inclined teacher, she told me to just take another journey with my spirit guides, which also wasn't helpful, right? Like already I was going out and up and out of my body. I was already receiving too much information. My issue was what am I to do with this information, right? I didn't want to go out to the spirit world. I needed to come back into my body to ground, find safety again, really. So for me, my own struggle and the lack of awareness in mainstream society and psychology and psychiatry has called me to this work quite powerfully. I see a gap and I can't help but support support the gap, yeah, support the transition. So I thank you for your attention. If again, if you're going through these experiences, or if you know somebody who is, I invite you to get in touch with me to see how I can be of support, and also to answer any questions that you might have and fill in any gaps from this presentation here. I would love to connect if that feels right for you. Thank you.